This is the final project interview with Peggy Warner. All right, so what role did sports play in your life when you were young?
When I was young, back in about the 50s and 60s, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, I was the only girl in the neighborhood of many young boys, and I learned how to play tackle football. I learned how to play baseball. We didn't play much basketball back then because everybody had a dirt driveway. It was kind of hard to dribble a basketball. So that's kind of where I started with my liking of sports.
And what was your, so you were the only girl, how was that?
It was rough. They didn't favor me because I was a girl. I got, like I said, I got tackled. I got hit with a ball bat at one time, knocked in the head, just about knocked out cold. But, you know, when you want to be part of the crowd, you play with the boys. It was okay. It was okay.
And what was your favorite game to play?
Probably baseball. As a kid, it was probably baseball.
Yeah. And what role did sports play when you were younger? You said you played with the boys, but was that a big part of your life? Did you only do it during certain times?
Every night after school, on the weekends, we were always playing sports. Always. The one little boy in the neighborhood, when we'd play baseball, he would, if he struck out, we had to wait for him to go lean against the apple tree and cry his eyes out because he struck out before we could start the game back up.
And what has been your greatest memory of playing or watching sports? It can be when you're young or more recently.
Well, when I was younger, my brother played football in high school, and watching him make his first touchdown, I still remember going to the bakery and getting him a cake with a big goalpost on it and a football and celebrating, and that kind of initiated my love for football for a few years.
And how old was he?
He's like 4 years older than me, so he was probably 16, 17.
And let me see. In terms of gender, what inequalities have you seen over the course of your life for women in sports? It doesn't have to be specific to you, but have you seen any?
Well, back in the day, women in sports wasn't really even talked about. It was like the guys, the men, the basketball teams, the football teams, the baseball teams. You didn't hear much about women. And today, I see women just have come so far. Thank goodness. They deserve that. They work hard too and dedicate themselves. And there's a lot of really, really good athletes out there. I first got into watching women in sports with my daughter running track and running cross country and seeing the dedication and how hard it was and the time you had to spend, and that was kind of an eye-opening for me as far as women in sports.
And how do you see that today? I mean, obviously there's still a ways to go, but
there is still a ways to go. I mean, women don't make the money that the men make. They don't get the recognition. But the bottom of the line is they keep going forward. It's moving forward. We're not going backwards anymore, and that's huge. So,
yeah. And why do you think in society, and this has gone back a long time, but especially today, why do you think sports matter so much to people? Why do you think we spend so much time and money on watching sports or paying to go see sports?
Sports to me is a feel-good. You can be down, you can be sad, you can be whatever. And you wrap your head around a team that you're dedicated to and you watch them go out there and play, and it takes everything else out of your head and it makes you feel good. My granddaughter is the one that actually got me into my love of basketball by introducing me to a team called the Miami Heat. And I learned how to love every player on that team. I knew so much about them, and when they were on TV, I was on the couch watching them. And even today, the NBA, the college, it's just an uplift. I've even got my husband into it.
And what's your favorite team to watch now? Or player?
My favorite NBA team is the Golden State Warriors. And my favorite college team is the Spartans, Michigan State Spartans. My favorite player on the Warriors is Draymond Green. And I can't say I have a favorite on the Spartan team. I like all of them. They play a good team game.
Why do you like Draymond Green?
I like Draymond Green's spirit. He's dedicated. He keeps the team fired up. He gets in trouble. There's just nothing not to like about him.
And kind of going off of why sports matter so much, I asked a little bit, why do you think people invest so much time in them, whether it's the athletes or fans?
Why do they spend so much time?
Or just like why, you kind of talked about why they matter to you. It's a feel good, but why do you think sports matter? Before we were talking about like how it's helped people get out of bad situations, or it's helped.
Well, sometimes with all the negativity that we deal with, even on a daily life, simple little things that will make you feel negative, sports is something that you watch that makes you feel good, it's a happy thing. It's not, you can wrap your head around a player like Draymond Green, and before the game's over, you're laughing or you're crying or you're excited or you're hooting and hollering, and it gets rid of all the anxiety that you might have had for the day. It's a feel good. It just makes me happy. I'm sad. It's over right now.
The NBA, yeah.
Yeah.
And what, kind of going off of that, what is the role of sports in your life now? You talked a little bit about when you were young and playing with the boys in the neighborhood. How is it now?
Well, when I was a kid in the neighborhood, you just went and played when everybody come out to play. And now you can pick up your remote and you can see when it's on, and you can sit down, and it's something to look forward to and to be excited about and go, all right, tonight I get to watch the Warriors play, or the Spartans are on tonight. And it's become a happy thing in my life today.
What sport, you said you care about basketball the most, your favorite sport, but why is that? Do you have a reason why that is?
I like basketball because I like the pace of basketball. It's fast paced, it's constant moving, and I like that. It's the excitement of all of the action all the time. Versus baseball, which you could be out there for 2 hours and it's not exciting. Football's exciting, but basketball still is a much faster pace.
And I kind of asked you about this before, but sorry, I have to go back. How has comparing and contrasting, how have the role of sports in your life, how is that similar to when you were young, and how is it different?
Well, when I was a little girl in the neighborhood playing with all the boys, it was fun to be part of the crowd, to be accepted, to go out and play and get muddy and dirty and have a good time. And today it's a happy thing for me. It warms my heart. It excites me when I know I get to sit down and watch the basketball game on TV, and a lot of similarities but a lot of differences at the same time.
All right. Oh, that's all I have. So it's going to be shorter, but